What up? Well, we're where we thought we would be. So there's that. Scoob celebrating 7 months of down only. You know, it's funny, Scoob. You think about that. You go back 7 months. That's exactly when the Fed came out to be like, yeah, party's over. I mean, it was November last year. That's pretty funny. Pretty funny. That's too good. So how's everybody feeling? It really, at this point, shouldn't shock anyone with this level of selling here, because we've been talking about this for a while. There is no one home in this area. Park, what's up, buddy? Congrats, man. How's being a dad? I assume it's tiring but good. That's how I recall becoming a dad, but congrats to you, my friend. Yeah, I mean, good time to get back into it because there's gonna be plenty of time to research. But you know, we've been talking about this volume void forever. Hell, I was talking about this shit last summer because I was like, phew, we're right on the edge. And big dogs are in the Hamptons. You're not wrong. 202, man, you are an animal. Bob, what's up? Yeah, I mean, really, none of us should be surprised at this level of selling. We really shouldn't. Because look at this. I'm not manipulating this screen at all. Ace, what's up? I'm not manipulating this screen at all. This is the volume profile for essentially the breakout out of 20K. And this is the volume profile for before, and nobody traded from like 20 to 28K. It was just $8,000 of up only. And I remember that vividly. I talked about it, I think a couple weeks ago. I was talking to like Gainsey as it happened. And if you think about it, like Gainsey goes back to whatever it was here before I was in, and he played all of this. So like, think of how long, if you played this run up and how long it took to kind of recover prior to moving up. This breakout of 20K was like, they didn't even know what to do with themselves. I mean, that's just an absurd amount of time. Yeah, DJ, I did. And I appreciate you guys saying that this is, you know, not new to you, and hopefully you took pains to protect yourselves in that reality. But I know a lot of people didn't, which is too bad. It's like we've been talking about this. We talked about it a lot in July of last year, and then we defended it. Came back down again. Like, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. So what I would very much encourage you guys to do is continue to have perspective right now. Do I think it's going to take years for us to base? I don't know, but I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out. What I would say is this is a significant level that we clearly lost today, yesterday, whatever it is. On the 3-day, it looks like it's today, but it was, you know, over the course of a couple days. If you see any sort of attempt back to this level that gets rejected, I mean, that's your last out. Really, guys. And again, I need to go pull the fucking video. I keep coming back to this because when everyone was euphoric right here, I was literally streaming and I was like, you know what, man? Test from the underside on the 200 day is a big deal. I would hedge here. I am hedging here. And I did. I closed it too early. But this takes time. And it will continue to take time. I mean, look at this. Look on the daily how ridiculous it is. I mean, right into this little wedge, which is really interesting. But I would not be in a rush to do anything crazy right now. This is going to take time. You have to understand the type of damage that we're trying to unwind right now. The type of damage we're trying to unwind right now is not done in a weekend. Okay? It's not. In a lot of respects, it's interesting to me that crypto is still holding up here even. DJ says, what's the indicator? It's the VPVR. It's this right here. For the index, this is what I use. Ticks per row instead of numbers per row, 5,000. This just is how far it comes out on your screen. Sometimes I change it for effect, but like you can change how far it actually moves. So you know, like it'll adjust how far it comes out on your screen. But yeah, the VPVR is interesting to take a look at. And right now, there's a lot of damage that needs to be unwound. There's a lot of damage that, yeah, no problem, that we need to kind of come to grips with. And it's not done quickly. I mean, sell in May and go away was real. I mean, it happened again. It happened again. May 1st, May 4th, the breakdown was the first weekend in May, essentially from 38K down to where we are now. It's a $15,000 drop from sell in May and go away. So this is going to take time. I had people DMing me already. Hey man, I'm thinking about wading in. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for a long time, I love Ethereum around $1,000. I do. But just because we get there does not mean I'm going to buy it. I've been saying this for a long time too. I'll get to Ethereum in a second, but just because you get to an area of importance does not mean that you buy. And it's the thing that amateur traders fuck up constantly. You have to have a reason to take a position. What's your reason right now? Right? I don't see one. It doesn't exist. So even though it's in the area, I could easily, like our best case scenario, guys, I'm going to give it to you right now. Our absolute best case scenario right now is we range between 20 and 28K for weeks, if not months. Between 20 and 28K. Well, Bob, he will have a lot less money than when he started. Kajaka, what's up? Our absolute best case scenario is a range from 20 to 28K for weeks, for months. And fill out this inefficiency. Kaz, what's up, brother? So it would be phenomenal if we can get this 20 to 28K, build out this volume, just liquidity games and bullshit that happens along the way. And that would be ideal. Because I got to be honest with you guys, I don't want to see the dip down into the teens. I really don't. In my opinion, if you get a breakdown through 20K, it's not stopping before right here. And then I imagine 12, 13K is going to hold forever. If it doesn't hold, then crypto's going away forever. So it's very easy tactically to decide what you want to do right now. If you are a scalper, if you're like Scoob or Shady or Acorian, you know, Kaz used to scalp, I used to scalp. I just don't do it as much as I used to because it's hard. It takes a lot of work. And I made too much money during this cycle to want to work that hard. I know, messed up to say. But it's hard, okay? There's going to be plenty of scalping opportunities through here. And that's just not my game. I don't like to use leverage. I don't like to play that shit. Like, I can spend my time more productively elsewhere. But it's going to be very, very clear what happens next. It's just going to be, can we hold this level? If you get up to 29, 30K and there's an attempt into like 29, 30K and that attempt gets rejected, which it will. Go dude, how you doing? You can short that. And short that to range low. So there's going to be opportunities through here, but it's looking really shitty. So I'm sorry, who was this who said that? To Bob. I'm trying to stop my mate from buying, but he says he wants in because everything is, quote, so cheap right now. You know what? Yeah, that's Scoob. That's essentially what I'm just saying. But that's such a fallacy. Like, that's why the like what I started off just saying, where like if you get to an area, you don't just buy the area. You don't. Can't. You will go broke. I promise you will go broke. You need to see an alignment of factors, and that's all I'm going to be looking for. So what I will do moving out from here is this. I want alignment in these four things. I don't know why this is loading so fucking slow. Here we go. I want alignment in these four things. If I find all four of these things at alignment, then I would consider deploying cash. But not one of them. Not one of them. That's not enough to do anything. You have to think tactically. This sort of damage is not unwound, is not unrung. Like, you have to work that shit off. And quite frankly, I'm not skipping Ethereum. I will cover all of these major instruments right now. Are you telling me with the damage that we have, like we have a con gap, we have like an exhaustion gap down right now on the ES? You telling me that we're only 400, we're almost 400 to the tick away from pre-COVID highs? You're telling me this range? You're telling me that this range is not going to be retested from the top side? Bullshit. Kaz just says monthly demand there too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's the same slot right here, right? That's actually a really good point. You could essentially do this and go, come on. I hate it when the anchor messes up. That area is the area. And I just don't see us not testing that on a bleed down or whatever. And not because not because I necessarily think things are that bad, but just consider the weakness that is presently in the market. It's the reason why it was very easy to see we were going to have a down weekend. Now, did I short it? No, I had a golf tournament on Saturday. I didn't feel like checking it out. But you knew that it was going to go down this weekend because of overall fear. You get shitty CPI indicators on the week out, heading out, and there's fear in the market. And so all it takes is a market maker, somebody pushing support, and no one shows up to defend it. And boom. All right, Atomic says, are you talking? Yes, that was me talking. I just responded in Telegram. I have 6 monitors, man. So I have Restream over here. I have Telegram there. I have Discord there. I have my charts here. So yes, That is me, Atomic. Wait, how are you talking and streaming at the same time? Well, because I have 6 monitors. That's how. So I find it very hard to believe that this area is not going to be tested. I mean, given what we have going on here, and it's not going to happen overnight. Right? It's not going to happen overnight. This would actually kind of make sense. Like this bleed down into this area into the 4th freaking quarter. When, let's remind everybody, for people who aren't Americans, what happens in the 4th quarter of this year, everybody? Yeah, it's midterms. It's midterms. Scoop. So that's what I mean. That's exactly why I started off with saying, like, you're going to see these moves because look at every single drop that has happened. I mean, this is right here. This is perfect. We can just scroll back. For those of you that are newer to this, you haven't seen this stuff before, but these sorts of bounces are pretty commonplace. Because you want to know why? People who wanted to short the breakdown shorted here. This is the breakdown from 40K. Shorted here. And people were watching, buying the dip, getting stopped out, buying the dip, getting stopped out, buying the dip, getting stopped out. And then when it got down here, they went, all right, I'm going to short. And then you get these little bounces and then rollovers. And then those people get stopped out of their short. And then they go to long and then they get liquidated again. Like that's how market makers work. Reminder, guys, market makers are there just for volume. They get paid off of volume. More volume that's traded, the more money they make. Okay. Yeah. Ansus Zien. I don't know your name, dude. Ansus Zien. Anus season? Ansu season. Gotcha. Ansu season. Yeah. The midterm elections for the United States are this November. Midterms are essentially where the balance of power of Congress, which is the House of Representatives and the Senate, could potentially change. Right now, Democrats have a majority of the House and the Senate. In November, there will be another election. All signs, all indicators right now are pointing to the Democrats getting absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed, where you will go from having a Democratic majority in both the House and the Senate to a Republican majority in the House and the Senate with a Democratic president who's incompetent. And that's not necessarily good, but I will say that people think of, I'm not saying it's true because the numbers don't really back up this assertion, but the numbers suggest that Republicans in the House and the Senate is better for business. Okay. So that could be a catalyst when we go back to talking about this chart and when does it all come together? Or I'm sorry, it was this one right here for the ES, just kind of slowly. I mean, it'll all kind of look like this, right? Just kind of bouncing its way down right into midterms here in November. Actually, I kind of hit that on the nose. This is election week right here. So that would actually be great. That would be great. The point is, like, let's not do it like this. Oh, sorry, I got to move my face out of the way. Hold on. We do not want to see this over the next month. Okay? These sorts of runaway down moves. I was talking to, I don't remember who the hell I was talking to earlier. It might have been Kaz. No, it was my brother-in-law. Talking to my brother-in-law. I was like, I just don't see a way that the COVID high isn't retested. And we all better pray to God or Krishna or Buddha or whoever, Muhammad, whoever it is that you pray to, that 3,400 holds. Because if 34 doesn't hold, we're probably looking at 2,500 to 2,200. Yeah, you don't talk to me anymore. I've been golfing, man. What do you want from me? I've been doing what all of you should be doing too. And so I'm going to be back more now. I have one big tournament left, okay? I have one big tournament. Next week, I have my biggest tournament of the year. I won it last year. I got to defend it this year. And then I'll be back more. So I'm getting in mode, man. Trying to win that money. Can't do it making crypto. Got to do it on the golf course. And then I'll be back more. But my point right now is if anybody is going to sleep tonight with the delusion that there's a V recovery in this, you're out of your mind. there's literally I'm not going to say 0% chance because you never know. Like Jerry P could have a fucking stroke on the podium on Wednesday and be like, oh, we're going to print all the money. And like all of a sudden everything rips. But like, I don't believe that's going to happen. The CPI was worse than anything you could ever imagine last week based on what they said. And by the way, if you're in the Discord, the research teams are up. We're not researching much because the market is shit. But the macro group, Scoob, myself, and Shady have posted a few gems in there. Shady posted an article on what's happening with the mortgage markets and the housing markets right now. Honestly, it made me even more bearish. It's a phenomenal article. You all should read it. And it's in the subscriber chat on Discord. And it literally is. What they were saying is that the confluence of events right now in the market are the exact same as before the 08-09 crisis, and then the 94 crisis, and then in the 80s and the 70s. Like literally this has happened 5 times ever, and the 5th one essentially just happened. And there's almost no way we're not going into a recession right now. So if you want that information, then you should join the Discord. The Discord, if you have Prime, Amazon Prime, and you donate your Prime sub here, it's free. It's $4 a month. Okay? I try to make it free because most people have Amazon Prime. Sub, don't sub. I don't really care. But the point is, guys who really know what they're doing are posting good stuff to help you navigate this stuff. And the mortgage crisis is bad. I was at the golf course the other day, and I was talking to one of my friends who runs a $100 million hedge fund, okay? And they look at macro market indicators. And he said to me, did you know that mortgage applications are at a 22-year low last month? A 22-year low. Mortgage applications were at a 22-year low last month. Do you understand how bad that is? 22 years. Some of you listening weren't even alive 22 years ago. I was in college. No, I was in high school 22 years ago. Okay? We're at a 22-year low in mortgage applications. And for those of you that are still learning this stuff for the first time, mortgage applications in the housing market kind of determine the general market health. They really do. The majority, this is my last little thing here. The majority of people's wealth comes from their home. Because people generally fuck up everything else they have. But they get their homes right. Accidentally, really, more than anything else. So in my heart of heart, I'm going to put my bow on Bitcoin right now. On my thoughts on Bitcoin. And with Bitcoin is yes. And then NQ we'll talk about in a second here. But there is no rush to jump into this thing. And if you have not made it, meaning that you didn't hit every financial goal you wanted, or like you feel like you got to be smart, maybe you quit your job, or maybe you took something risky, or whatever it is, then the situation you need to be in right now is capital preservation. And you need to start being smart today. You need to start being smart today. This is not a fun message to deliver, guys. But the extra money and the bullshit and the stuff that you're doing right now because you've been used to doing it, Easy Street's going to go away for a while. You need to be smart. Yes, you can play these ranges and you can scalp if you want to. But now is not the time to degen. Now is not the time to buy the sports car you wanted or the boat or whatever it is. Like, I'm not joking, guys. This is a red alert. This is a red alert. Best case scenario, we range for weeks bordering on months. Worst case scenario, this lasts years. Years. Okay? So prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for the worst possible situation. And if it ends up not being the worst possible situation, what'd you miss out on? Nothing. Okay? Nothing. But that is how dire this is. It is how dire this is. All right? Do not take that for granted. Let's look at Ethereum. Go back to the VPVR, which you have to adjust the settings on to get it to work. Here, sometimes I go to 50, and that's just based on the volume metric that I'm using to calculate this stuff. Come on. We'll go to 500, that's fine. The reason why I said earlier, I replied to Kaz's tweet and said, if you love Ethereum at $1,200, you're really going to love it at $750. And that's because of this right here. I'll try to make it larger, but I think it'll go away when I do. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to see, but there's a ledge here at 750 where like there was this previous resistance we had to break through. This is the breakout bar from 700. And if we get that dip down to 20K, you're going to see $700 Ethereum. $700, $750 Ethereum. And if that doesn't hold on, sweet Lord baby God. I mean, we're going way lower. 400, 300-ish dollars. Okay? Now, somebody has very astutely pointed out, so are you saying we're just going to rip through a 200-week moving average? And no, that's not what I'm saying. I said earlier, I literally said in the subscriber chat, my first area is 23K where I think we'll get a bounce. What did we get down to? 22,585. Okay, I missed it by $400. And then now we've gotten a bounce up. It actually was over over 24 a moment ago. So there will be bounces. Yeah, Scoob making a great point. So I believe there will be bounces in potential range fill in, but that doesn't mean that we don't continue this trend down. Right? Doesn't mean we don't continue this trend down. You have this little consolidation area here. You hope that that holds. But again, look at the 750 area. There is a volume void here that probably needs to be filled in. That's where the 750 is coming from, folks. There's a volume void that's going back a long time. And I firmly believe that it's more likely going to be hit than not. So for those of you saying, like, I want to deploy, everything's on discount, let's take a look, yada, yada, like, this is it, this is my moment. You don't need to rush into this. It's going to take time. Now, keep in mind, this is a 3-day chart from last summer. Even last summer, which we got like the best outcome possible, it was from May 19th to July 21st. It was literally 2 months of liquidity games and bullshit and then a move higher. Well, I guess if you wanted to say from the start of May, maybe that's this breakdown. And hopefully we can just kind of drift into late July, August and actually get that bounce up. And like, we'll take that as it comes. And if we see something we like, we'll talk about it. I hate being the guy that's like, hey, remember when? But like, literally, guys, we fucking called this bottom last summer. We called this bottom last summer. All my videos are saved. Go back and look if you don't believe me. July of 2021 on YouTube. Go look. There's literally a video called The Bull Case for Bitcoin and Ethereum on YouTube where we talk about the bottom. I will do the exact same thing again this year if I see it. And we're not anywhere close right now. Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple clips that I got very lucky on with drawing how price action would play out. And it ended up being right. I didn't think it would go that way. But, you know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. So don't jump into this. Now, many of you, let's see, we got like 80 people watching. Many of you work jobs, okay? And I know how that is, man. It's tough. is tough. Where you go, I can't be there for every moment to try to catch the bottom. Well, it usually does happen over time, and you can still turn the cruise ship and catch the end of the turn. You don't, maybe not catch the bottom, but when we get to a situation where conditions start changing, then you can start to DCA in, right? I'm going to make $100 purchase every day or every week or every month or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. You can start DCAing, dollar cost averaging in, when it looks like there could be a bottom in. For my cases here, that would be 20,000 on Bitcoin with some good shit happening, and under 1,000-ish, 750 on Ethereum. But if we get to those levels and it still looks like shit, I'm not buying. I'm just not. We'll go even lower, and that's okay too. That's okay too. Now, you have to remember, I had somebody text me the other day, I don't remember who it was, but they said, why is Ethereum getting its ass kicked and Bitcoin isn't as much? Thanks, sir, for sharing the clip. And the way that I would think about it is like this. Like Ethereum, in my brain, I consider it, or I think of it more like the QQQ, like tech stocks, okay? And it will trade, yeah, maybe. But that's August. It will trade as such, like with the high beta. So that's where like watching QQQ would be the thing that you would watch for like bottoming on the NASDAQ. My lines here are kind of insane. They made sense to me at the time. They still do. But for you guys, it's probably annoying to look at. So I'll get rid of them. Draw them back when I need to. $10K pesos. So when is the QQQ going to bottom? Because when it does, that's going to be great for crypto. But guys, this is an exhaustion gap down. This is literally the weakest price action you can imagine. It's the weakest price action you can imagine. Runaway breaking down. Now, there's a reversal signal where you're around here for a day and you kind of gap up and leave bottom short or stranded, and we'll keep an eye out for that. I don't think it happens, but every now and again you see like there's a naked reversal from February. That's kind of a similar idea where it's like, oh shit, we're going up, and then just gap down immediately. Another island gap down here where people get caught. So you look for these things, but like the gap in between these levels is large and getting larger. I think there's more likely a chance tomorrow we get a gap down further than it is that we even open where we close today. If I were flipping a coin, or if I was saying I'm going to place odds on one being more likely than the other, I think it's more likely that we gap down further than it is we just open where we close today based on present sentiment. Okay. So you don't need to rush into this shit because you need to see a landing spot for the QQQ, which is also NQ. For the ES, where's the landing spot? I think it's the pre-COVID highs. The pre-COVID highs on the NQ, look how far away they are. It's literally 9,700. We're at 11.5 right now. Russell's actually already there. Isn't that funny? The Russell got there first. So the Russell already is back to pre-COVID highs. Dow closer as well. So if you want to play this slowly, you look for that area of alignment where all of these things are kind of hitting support at the same areas. And if you don't have time to watch it every day, that's when you deploy your dollar cost averaging. And you don't do it quickly. And the problem is a lot of people want to look at this and go, okay, this is a support area. I have 10 grand. Let's say that's my budget. Here's 10 grand I'm firing in. Because this may be the bottom. And so, boom, I'm taking my shot. And that just rarely ever works out, guys. Like, rarely, if ever, works out. So, That's why dollar cost averaging for people who can't watch this shit closely is not a bad idea. Quite frankly, when Stacked actually has its products rolling, which should be in the next couple of months, which is horseshit timing for them, it's going to be a phenomenal tool for a lot of people that are looking to dollar cost average in. It'll be like Fidelity for crypto, where you just have like take $200 a week or month or year, whatever your budget is, and you decide to allocate it however you see fit. They handle everything for you. They don't really take much of a fee. Their fee is kind of with the exchanges, and it's going to be a phenomenal product for people trying to dollar cost average in versus what we have to do now: deposit money to Coinbase, take it in the fucking ass because Coinbase sucks when you're buying, and the fees you have to pay. Immediately you're starting down 8% because Coinbase is trash. Like, you have all these different things you have to worry about. Stacks is going to have a great product that's going to help a lot of people with that. But moral of my story is there's really no reason to be quick. Okay? This is the dollar going ham. And why is it going ham? Because they've raised rates for 4 months in a row and they still can't even get the projections right on core inflation. Not are they not slowing it, but they're even considering that it's going to go up, and they're setting their expectations, and they still aren't getting them right. Oops. I just killed my whole feed. There we are. So Scoob. Sorry, 1 second. I gotta reopen all my windows now. There we go. So Scoob just said, and rightly, yeah, with, by the way, WSP Stats Chaser says with a fudge number. That's right. They keep changing the formula too on the CPI, and they keep screwing that up, which is really impressive, to be honest. You know, we got this retraction in the dollar, and it didn't even really matter for crypto. I mean, that should have been a sign to begin with. But when you can't even get your inflation estimate right when you're raising rates the way that you are, then they're going to continue raising them. And that's the reason why everything's sold off. If that was unclear, this rollover here is because of CPI and them going, well, shit, I guess they're not doing enough. But at the same time, those sorts of actions, if we raise by 50 basis points today, it doesn't resolve itself tomorrow. And really the thing, like the way to interpret this for, okay, is this the bottom or not, is right now people are still willing to pay above market for things that they want because they have enough cash reserves versus not buying it at all. Going, that's outside of my cash, that's out of my range, it's outside of my budget, I should back off and I'll wait because this is ridiculous. That's not what happens. What is happening right now is people are going, fuck it, I'll just pay it on almost everything that there is. Cars, like I filled up my SUV the other day. It was like $128, which again, like I can afford that. It still annoys me, and that's a small indicator, but like people are still driving like they are. People are still buying new homes and new cars and building additions to their homes or going out more or whatever it is. And that needs to change. The dirty secret, and it, by the way, it's in the, I saw somebody join the Discord to ask for the article. One of the sub headlines in the article on the mortgage crisis right now is like, right now, people don't really have pain yet. And even though we're taking measures to increase rates, stop inflation, the subtext that nobody ever talks about is the only way that happens is with demand destruction, which fucks up the economy, guys. the only way. No one ever talks about that. We're raising basis points. Like the way that Jerome Powell talks about it, and he'll say it on Wednesday. Hand to God, when he has his press conference, write this down. I guarantee you he'll say it. Write this down. What he will say is, we have a surplus of jobs for workers that are looking for jobs. There's X million openings, and there's only 60% of workers looking to fill those openings. And he said this for the last 3 months. He'll say it again on Wednesday. And what he said was, we want to level that out to where the open number of jobs that are hiring is in line with people that are searching for jobs. We want to level those. And so in our opinion, we can contract the economy where there isn't any real substantive impact by just level setting those numbers. Okay, let's say that in that fantasy fucking land that he's talking about, they're able to pull that off. And they just know how to drip the faucet enough to just level set openings with searchers. They won't, but let's say they did. And inflation is still rising at that point. What you've already just said to everybody is, we level set the open jobs with searchers and it's still not working. So logically, what's the next step? That's right. Yeah, you need to kill more. You need to kill more jobs. You need unemployment to go up. You need people scared and saving their money versus spending and correcting supply and demand and the price mechanics therein, because we're out of fucking control right now. We're out of control right now. So if you think that resolves overnight, I got a bridge I want to sell you. Okay? But there's some good news, I guess. If you want to get better at this, if you want to learn, if you want to research, now's the time. But get smart right now with how you are managing your life. How are you spending money? Because this could be real bad for a long time. Quite frankly, you know what the get out of jail free card is on this? I've asked this before and people got it right. What's the get out of jail free card when your economy is shitty? Anybody know? Well, I draw some lines here. Anybody know? Yep. That's right. Aldo Norino. 100% correct. The get out of jail free card when your economy is garbage is to go to war. Yep. Ace, you got it right. You got it right. The get out of jail free card is war. So like when you're looking at Drudge Report or whatever it is you choose to look at, I look at Drudge, I look at a bunch of other like news aggregators. Like you need to keep an eye out for geopolitical shit that's going on. Like I saw earlier, like China released something like we're amending our constitution or whatever they call their manifesto to allow for protection of our borders everywhere. Essentially they were saying Taiwan. They're saying that like, you know, we're going to put ourselves in a place where if we want to go take Taiwan, we can. And that's kind of like the first step. So keep an eye out for that stuff. You're going to see more and more of it. There's a reason why Russia was like, we see where this shit's going. We're going into Ukraine to get what we need. because natural resources, war, giving your civilians something to work toward helps you get through this stuff. So think about that next time the US or whomever starts talking about going to war. What are the economic conditions when you do so? And that's pretty damn telling. And we almost hit this bottom line too. We almost hit this bottom line. I would love to see that travel just slowly and methodically down that line. I don't think it'll happen. Now, I guess like for the sake of the conversation, we can do this. But like this should be shocking to absolutely no one. Yeah, you'll see $10 AVAX soon. $10 for your favorite AVAX token. You're probably going to look at... I had $13 on Solana was kind of what I thought. Maybe 16. Baron, what's up, brother? 7 months. Thank you. Appreciate the sub. I appreciate the sub. Welcome back to the subscriber portion of the room. But yeah, I would say like Solana becomes interesting to me under $20. And then really like in this area again, which is like that 13, what's that? 11 to 17 area is where Solana becomes interesting again to me. You guys know I've talked about Juno before. I have not changed my view on Juno. I have my amount that I'm going to continue to stake and compound because the upside bet on that's too good. Interestingly, on this down day, like, yeah, it's down, but doing better than a lot of other tokens. So we got that going for us, which is nice. Matic. Yikes. Gold's been holding. There's your mortgage rates. They're going to continue to pump. What I was reading today in that article is that these dated monkeys, what's up? Is that where spreads are, credit spreads are right now, mortgage rate should be 6%. And it's currently 5.2. And what caused all this? Glad you asked, guys. It was already fucked here. And then COVID happened and we got this. So how do you unwind this? This is what we're trying to unwind right now. Crypto market cap under $1 trillion. Haven't seen this since 2021. Keep in mind, market cap at the top, 3 trillion. 3 trillion. We are under $1 trillion right now. I mean, it's just a bloodbath everywhere. There's really no place to hide at this moment. It's bullish to be under $1 trillion. I guess that's one way to look at it. Like, I remember looking at Aave at 660 and being like, if this thing really plays off, Aave could be several $1,000s. We went from 660 to $60. Balancer, there's your 3AC news all the way up, and then bam, just destroyed. Maker from 6,000 to 788. So yeah, for those of you who are wondering, this is what happens when you run too hot for too long. Only green is the energy sector. Yeah, and I saw Telpol, good comment. Thank you for the first comment. I saw Raul Paul say earlier that he does not think that this resolves itself until there's demand destruction from energy, oil, gas. That is where this thing probably ends in his view. And it's hard to disagree with him. I can see that. I could 100% see that. What? Libya closed almost all oil fields. Terrific. So this flips red, just for the record. I have not done it yet, but this breakdown now flips red. There you go. So any sort of ETH BTC retest into that area, that's a short. Eldon Reno just asked a good question. And if you have any other questions, shout them out because I'm not going to stream for much longer today. I'll try to stream more this week. I have family coming in at the end of this week, Father's Day, yada yada. Happy early Father's Day to all the fathers out here. I will definitely stream at least one more day this week. I don't know when that will be. Could be tomorrow, could be Thursday. I don't really know. But Eldon Reno just asked a good question about the Celsius stuff. They've been adding collateral, so their liquidation level was like 20 grand. I think Scoob, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you said it's down to like 17 right now, 17K. And so they keep adding collateral, so that's interesting to me. As for FTX and Coinbase, I firmly believe between the two, Coinbase is more likely to fail than FTX. Hand to God. If I had to pick one, if I need to back a horse between FTX and Coinbase, I'm backing FTX. I think they're both likely to make it just fine. The problem with Coinbase is, well, they're fucking stupid. They've been doing stupid shit all the time. They have nothing that's a competitive advantage. And like they even said in their own earnings report last quarter, people don't really use Coinbase. They just use us to onboard and offboard their money. Like their own quarterly report, we're like, yeah, people pretty much acknowledge that we fucking suck, but we're the easiest way to get their cash in and out of crypto. So they buy here, they send it somewhere else, they come back here and they withdraw. And that's all they use us for, which, hey guys, that's what I use them for. Coinbase sucks. So if you're one of those people that is like left there in all you trade on is Coinbase, I don't know. I'd maybe hedge. If you like Coinbase, great. Go sign up for ftx.us and hedge your bets. You do not want to be Mt. Gox. But it sounds like Celsius has the pockets deep enough to withstand this. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's the great deleveraging is what you're seeing in action. That's what I was searching for earlier when you're talking about a contraction. Yes, I agree. That's exactly right. FTX, Coinbase, Binance, those are the three. There's pretty much nothing else that I feel really good about. Bybit's probably fine because I know Bybit has like surprisingly deep pockets. But yeah, like I would still consider like Bybit and KuCoin and like that shit, that level, which KuCoin's not on the same level as Bybit, but that sort of level to be on a color scale, like yellow risky. So not a red, but it's not good either. So be smart. Kraken would be in the yellow to me, probably more closer to red. than yellow. More closer to red than yellow. And certainly far away from the green of FTX or Coinbase. Coinbase has innate value because people know about it worldwide. So, you know, they'd really, really, really have to fuck up to like become insolvent, but they have shown an ability to take really, really good situations and like an incredible advantage at the market and do absolutely nothing productive with it and screw up every competitive advantage that they have. So, no, I have no faith in Coinbase to make the right decision strategically, ever. Because I don't even, yeah, orange. I don't even know. I don't even know who technically runs Coinbase at this moment, who the CEO is, because quite frankly, I don't give a shit. But I probably should check that out. Yeah. Yeah, Nibbler says, bull market, sexes, centralized exchanges for those who aren't up on the vernacular. Even a mom and pop sex would make billions. Brian Armstrong, that's right. Scoop says, I wonder how much of the crypto market cap is just leveraged vaporware. What happens if there's mass exit with so much imaginary money in the space? Yeah, it's a liquidity crunch. That's the concern. Straight up, that's the concern. So you need to protect yourself in the event there's going to be a liquidity crunch. And I would love to talk to somebody from Coinbase. If you know somebody who wants to come on. Since I, last took a shot at Sonny for being a piece of shit on Twitter, which caught the ire of a lot of people. Holy smokes. Did the Osmo people come out and force to be pissed at me? That was funny. But yeah, at this point, I got nothing to lose. Fuck it. Somebody from Coinbase wants to talk to me about why they're not pieces of shit. Then let's come on. Let's talk about it. Tell me where I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot of faith in them making the right decisions strategically. So if I were you, I would think about moving to FTX. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? If not, I'm going to ride out. It's been about an hour. It's what I've been doing. I'll be hanging out in Discord all day if you guys want to talk in Discord. I'm not going to jump to a post-stream Q&A because I don't really feel that I need to do it. But if you guys have questions, there is a post-stream chat room. Drop them in there and I'll respond. We'll go from there. But like, guys, day by day, there is no rush to jump back in. Don't be silly. This is going to take time. And as things develop, as things change, we'll talk about them. We'll do the best we can to catch you together. Yeah. I mean, FTX is the most safe simply because, like, Sam is not dumb. And it's not like you think Sam didn't know this was coming. Come on, man. Of course he knew it was coming. Yeah, I did. I talked about SPY. I talked about Bitcoin.
3, 2, 1.
Essentially, I think we're destined, Nibbler, for a retest of the COVID highs, which is about 400 points lower on the ES or S&P or SPX right now. And the corresponding move for Bitcoin is like that 17 to 20K. But if it breaks down further, it could be a hell of a lot worse. 30 seconds left, guys, and I'm riding out. Any last thoughts, questions? If not, hop into the Discord. I used to have an invite. I don't know how to do that anymore. There you go. There's an invite to the Discord. Come hang out if you'd like to. If not, that's fine too. Love you guys. Have a good rest of the week. Be safe. Don't be silly.